welcome to Createspace Online. Here we give you guys at home the opportunity to paint along with me to create some really exciting pieces of artwork.
This week in Createspace, we're looking at an artist called Jim Vine. It's partly to link in with St. Valentine's Day because he used lots of hearts in a kind of abstract way in his artwork. So this week you'll need paint, paper, pens. You could use crayons or oil pastels if you have them. Have a rubber, and you will need a ruler. So to start, just draw a big heart, as big as you can, on your paper. Try and make sure it's symmetrical, so it's the same both sides. And then draw it in with a pen when you're happy with the shape. You can rub out your pencil marks when you're ready. And then take your ruler and you're just going to divide it up with a marker pen. Now you can follow where my lines are if you want to. I've done two right through the heart and out the other side, and I'm turning my pen round and doing it the same again the other side. But really I'm just doing random shapes, so it's up to you where you draw your lines. They don't all have to go right the way through the heart. You can do some shorter lines too. The idea is you're just dividing into sections which you can paint. I'm going to draw some spots in some of them, and some I'm going to paint with stripes. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with a nice blue up in the top corner. I'm going to start with a dark blue, and lots of the spaces that we fill in, we're going to use two colours in and blend them in so that they gradually change from one colour to another. So this one we're going to start with a dark blue, paint around the outside, and it comes into the top segment of the heart as well. But in the middle of that section we're going to put some paler blue, and to do that I just mix my blue with some white, and I'm going to use that pale blue on that outside section of the heart as well. Try and blend in the colour so there's not a straight line between those colours, but it's kind of mixed in together. It gradually fades from one to the other. Let me just move on to the next section, and again I'm going to use blue on that just because I'm copying what Jim Vine's heart was like. But you can do yours any colours you like, really. Here at the top, I'm going to use some yellow, and then it's going to fade to orange, and then fade to red. And I'm going to blend those so it gradually changes colour from one to the other. And to do that you can just use a bit of water. Next I'm going to mix up a pink, which I use to do that. I do some white with a little bit of red in it, and just do that triangle at the top. And then just to balance out the picture I'm going to do one in the middle of the picture too, with that same pink. Next, with this triangle or segment of the heart, I'm going to do some stripes. So I'm not going to blend these colours in, but I've got 3 shades of pink. First I'm using this light pink, the same as I've used already. And then I'm going to mix a slightly darker one, a bit more purpley, so a bit more blue in with the red. And just to do another stripe next to that pale pink stripe. and then I'm going to add a bit of white paint to that dark purple, and that will sort of make an in-between colour, in between the light pink and the dark pink. Okay, now we're going to go for a nice bright yellow and some more orange. This one's a more browny colour, browny orange. And then we're going to do a dark brown next to that. And now in this next section on the right, I'm going to use some orange, and I'm going to make a yellow middle into it too. So I've mixed up my orange, mixing together the red and the yellow paints. I'm just going to paint around the outside of that shape and leave a space in the middle, and that space in the middle I'm going to put some yellow in, and then I'm going to blend those two colours together. And down in the bottom corner I'm going to use a bit more pink, but I'm going to outline it in that darker pink that we used on the stripes. And now right in the middle of my heart, in the centre bit, a nice sort of limey green colour. Make yours as bright as you like, but again I'm going to leave a space in the middle and fill that with some yellow paint and then blend it all in together. I wanted my edges to be a little bit darker, so I've added a bit more of a blue just around the edges of that segment. Next we're going for an orange, an orangey red this one, and again it's going to have a yellowy orange in the middle of it, and you're going to blend the colours in together so that they fade from one to the next. And then I'm going to use that same orange around the outside of the heart at the top. It's a very dark orange, you might use red I suppose, and mix it with some yellow and blend them in together. And now let's use a dark purple, and to mix that colour I used red and blue, made it really darky purple, and I'm going to carefully paint around the circles. And I'm going to use blue in the circles, one with a normal darkish blue, and then I'm going to mix some light blue by adding some white paint to that blue to do the two smaller circles. Give me some more yellow in the bottom segment. And I'm working down the page so that I don't smudge my work with my hand because the paint is still wet. And because I'm left-handed, I've started on the right side of the paper and I'm working across to the left. But if you're right-handed, do that the other way. This bottom segment I've used a sort of a purpley brown with a yellow in the middle. And that lovely lime green for the last segment of the heart. I'm going to blend in some green and some yellow in that bottom segment, and then fill in that last triangle with a nice bright red. And use that same red to paint in the spots. And I've used a darker red to go around the outside. And then this last piece of the paper, I'm going to paint with that dark purple colour again, and I'm going to blend it into a pink at the top. Now I've chosen colours which are similar to the ones Jim Dine used on his, but you can paint your colours any colours you like for your painting. Now, I wanted to make the heart look a bit darker, so when the paint is dry, go round it a bit more if you like to with just a marker pen, just to make the heart really stand out and pop. And you can see my blue started to run, so I just dab that with a piece of tissue and it's gone. And there you are, a heart inspired by Jim Dine's work.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you've had great fun today creating.